Birth and death are funny things. People end, they stop, they die. I'm not sure how to put it more bluntly. But the echoes of their life lives on without them, in the memories of the people they meet. A little snapshot of their existence contained within another's brain. And then the way we change people. Our parents help define who we are, our teachers, our friends. Without them, we wouldn't be who we are. And even when they're gone, we still have that part of them in us. And then we change the people we meet. And so on and so forth, the echoes of life live on. Even if the one that it started with is long gone. You even can get quite clear glimpses of people that have died possibly hundreds or even thousands of years ago in the text they've written. I mean, it's kind of shocking that you can read a book of some poor soul that died forever ago, but their words are still there, clear as day. It's quite the sight. Oh my. Today, something new will be born. It's your, well, beautiful baby Bonnie. I hope you take good care of her. You bring Bonnie home swaddled in soft blankets. You set her delicately down in her crib. She quietly begins to cry. Oh shit! Baby crying! What do you do? Give her check.
Turn up.
Attempt to
Give her a soft toy.
Give her a action figure.
Check her.
Give her a soft toy.
You plonk down next to her a little plush bunny rabbit. She seems mildly entranced by it. For a second it seems like true love at first sight. But then she proceeds to insert the bunny's face directly into her mouth. For a second you think about taking it away, but she's utterly content. The next few years are comprised mostly of crying and pooping, and considering that I'm not a sadist, I'm not going to subject you to that. So I hope you don't mind, but there may be an itty-bitty time skip. It's a wonderful spring day. The sun feels warm on your skin. There's a soothing breeze carrying the smells of flowers and newly blooming life. It's a perfect day to go on a walk with your little Bonnie. As you peacefully stroll along, a little white rabbit jumps out in front of you. Bonnie is simply overjoyed and reaches out towards it. But the next second, there's a sickening screech, and the rabbit is now airborne, being held in the fierce talons, piercing through its flesh, staining its white fur so very, very, very red. As the hawk swoops off into the distance, Bonnie looks up at you.
Survival of the...
Don't worry your little head about... Oh, that rabbit.
Yell.
Please don't cry.
Survival of the fittest, motherfuckers. Get that fluffy bust.
You hear the sound of a faint whimper in the background, but... Please don't cry. I know it's sad, but... Bonnie cries a lot. A lot. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. When dinner time comes, she refuses to eat any meat on her plate. She vows to never consume the flesh of an innocent creature again. It probably didn't help that you were serving rabbit for dinner, but the next morning you cook some bacon, and as you can imagine, her stint with vegetarianism didn't last as long as hoped for. You see Bonnibel looking up at you, beaming, her face and hands a rainbow smudge of chalky marks. In her hand, she tightly clutches a scrunched piece of paper. She raises it up in triumph. It appears to be an incomprehensible mess of scribbles. A mess of overlapping chalky colours. You assume it's a deep, postmodern representation of the human soul. But Bonnibel informs you that it is a dinosaur.
Back away and
You clap your hand. I'm really sorry.
How very postmodern. I see you've clearly taken inspiration from the school of Dadaism.
Oh.
Back away in terror, letting out an ear
You
piece.
clap your hands in delight. It's beautiful.
Dragons away, called them
I'm
down.
really sorry, Bunny, but it just looks like script. Clap your... Bonnie's filled with glee. She's quite literally bouncing around the place with happiness. Eventually, you both go back home and have a nice, peaceful nights of sleeps. But when you're awake, you discover that
Every surface of your household has been covered in chalk. From the toilet, to the carpet, to the walls, to your own face. You're filled with a burning emotion. You quickly run to Bonnie's room, kicking down the door, and you scream, "Oh my god, we're gonna be fucking rich!" as your child's clearly the most prolific art prodigy of this generation. You bring round a few famous art critics to appraise Bonnie's wondrous work. They are not exactly encouraging. They recommend a cleaner. You tell them to fuck off. She's clearly ahead of her time. Dad, are slugs jealous of snails? It's just snails have those little houses on top of their backs, and slugs don't. It's just unfair. They don't have a place to... Considering the evolution... Snails? Really? Well, they do have to carry... I know it is...
Well, life isn't fair. Deal with it.
Dab. Considering the evolutionary viability of both of them, I don't think either of them are better off. I mean, slugs and snails have been around for thousands and thousands of years, and if one was superior to the other, they would have outcompeted one another. I think Bonnie might hate you now, and with a response like that,
I like slugs.
Well,
I like slugs too.
You and Bonnibel have had a long day wandering around the great outdoors, peeping at wildlife. As you sleepily wander home, the sun already setting, the sky a dark blue, the last traces of light saying goodbye to the world. From the shadows, you hear a sickening crunch. Oh god, no. No, I didn't mean to. Out of the darkness, you see a poor, crushed little snail under Bonnibel's foot. Bonnie, you didn't mean it. Bonnie,
You're going to hell.
Bonnie, I know it's bad now, but we can learn from our mistakes. Bonnie doesn't seem to want to reply. It's unsettlingly silent. It is the dead of night, and you hear a door slowly creak.
Bonnie,
Don't worry,
Bonnie.
Oh my god, Bonnie, everything is okay. It's just a nightmare. Oh my god, there's a monster under your bed. What? Bonnie, everything is okay. It's just a nightmare. Oh my god, don't worry, I'm sure there is not a monster under your bed. Look, just to make sure, I'll go check. Wake up after a peaceful night's rest. There was nothing under Bonnie's bed. Why would there be? The air is cold, the sky is dark, spooks and monsters abound, creeping through every shadow, with one thought burning in their minds. Holy shit, we're gonna eat a ton of sweets! Bonnie's face is pressed up against our living room window, looking out at the majesty of Halloween. Spooks, ghouls, and ghosties abound, and princesses. For some unexplicable reason, princesses. I don't know why, don't fit with the theme. Don't make sense. Why? Sorry, that's aside the point. And on this fateful day, you have the chance to choose what particular spook, ghosty, or ghoul your little Bonnibel will dress up as. A priest to show all those pagan sinners the true light. A zombie. Well, a lawyer. A queen. Well, spiders do have 8 arms, and that would give you the addition of 4 times the candy-grabbing power. Bonnie most definitely enjoyed the costume. But it was met with mixed success. On one hand, our neighbour turned out to be arachnophobe. On the other hand, he gave us all his candy as well as £20 just to go away. It's a lovely autumn day. Orange leaves gently drift along in the cold breeze. Once again, you're going for a walk with Bonnie. It feels peaceful. You feel quite content. Numb to the world, Bonnie is happily skipping beside you. You can't even feel the cold breeze on your face. Everything's fine. Wait, you can't feel the cold breeze on your face. It's like November, you should probably be able to feel that. You try to reach up with one hand to touch your face, to try and figure out what's going on. Your arm doesn't seem to move. You realise that the soothing sensation of numbness
It felt quite calming at first, but now you can't feel your body. All the sensations you lived your whole life with, the feeling of air rushing in and out your lungs, your heartbeat, your clothes on your skin, they were so omnipresent. It just faded to the background. You forgot about them, but now it's gone. Its absence makes you feel so empty. You begin to slowly topple backwards. For a second you worry you'll hurt yourself when you hit the ground, but you remember at this point your body seems not to be capable of feeling anything, let alone pain. You look up at the sky, your vision beginning to fuzz. There's a face, someone above you, someone you really should remember. Their mouth is moving as if they're yelling, shouting, calling it, but you can't seem to hear anything. You attempt to speak, to try and soothe that distressed soul. You try to speak, but somehow you can't manage to get the words out. You desperately try, repeating it over and over in your head, but in the end, there's only silence. The last experience you'll ever have is that single thought. It's funny, I love... It's all going to be okay. I love you. I don't want to leave. I'm sorry. I'm going to miss your 7th birthday. It's funny, I thought at least I got to spend my final moments with you. You hear a faint cry off in the distance, but suddenly the cries are not so distant. A wave of noise hits you, cackling, hooting, screaming. You can't tell whether the makers of the sound are going through the most sensual joy or the worst pain you could imagine. You open your eyes, the noise suddenly stops. You see strange figures in front of you, small, carrying a mixture of hope and fear on their twisted faces. One slowly creeps towards you, and it appears to attempt to bow, even though its body seems rather unsuited to the position. It splutters out. Please, please, save us. The world is big and scary, but now you're here. Everything will be okay. You can protect us from the monsters at night and feed us when we're hungry. Teach us what's the difference between right and wrong. Please! I beg you. The one who fell from the stars. Help us. I see fear in your heart, and you are right to be fearful. For I am terrifying, I am beautiful. I appear to have set up some sort of feast to celebrate the coming of their new savior. They seem to be chirping to each other in some sort of strange alien song, passing small cups of dirty water around, as if they were wine, and happily munching on something that can be charitably described as very, very stale bread. For a second they all freeze but look up at you. One of them, any food is good food. I like food. Give me food. No meat. Vegetarian food is no meat. Vegetarianism for life. If you don't go green, it means you mean food is good food. I like food. Food is good, but you do feel a little guilty about killing animals and plants, but hey, it's circle of life and shit. You're grateful that their sacrifice helped enable your life to continue. Whether that be a cow, a cabbage, you are honoured by their humble service. Treehouse on top of the ground. On a treehouse. And any excuse to feel high and mighty, I am taken. Quite literally in this case. Suddenly, your whole world becomes very, very still. Details begin to blur and fuzz over. There's a mind-breakingly loud noise. Shattering glass, but replicated 1,000 times over. Everything's dark. Everything's pitch black. You can't see. Your little monster friends are running around in blind panic, with as little on earth of a clue as what's happening as you. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
Being a badass boss, babe. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
Wait a second. Did I hear the flash of lightning? What the hell is wrong with my hands? You gave me dark eyeliner. By God, I'm snapping the hell out of me when we wake up.
The evil apparition stares at you with fierce intensity.
Oh, fuck no, the narrator did not just call me evil looking. I am not the bad guy here. What are these meant to be? You're too old to be building dolls. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
The monster looks down with sheer disgust at the little creatures scurrying around in a blind panic at its feet.
This is not how we're meant to deal with this situation.
It stamps down hard like an exterminator on a particularly annoying cockroach. One of the tiny being's bodies explodes beneath the weight of its foot. Its placid remains begin to ooze gently across the floor.
Helpless little creatures begin to cry and shriek. Please, stop it!
Before the despicable monster can
Say another word, you raise your hand. You convince Aurora, convince it to atone for its evil. Shoot it with your super cool laser powers. Convince it to atone, foul sinner. There's no possible way you could atone for your crimes. But bow before my radiant perfection now, and you may be able to save one small fragment of your soul.
The monster replies, "You've got to be fucking shit." Its face freezes. It seems quite disorientated. Its mouth begins to move. Its hands move up to try and prevent the words from escaping it. But then its arms quickly snap back to its sides. And in a dead monotone voice it says, "Oh great, perfect radiant being, your words are just, and I am forever grateful for your advice, mercy. I shall go, and I am forever grateful for your understanding." The little creatures begin to cheer. Hooray! You banished the monster. Oh my god, I know you were awesome before, but you literally, you're so awesome, I can't describe it. So I'll just make random noises and hope it does it justice. They saved us from the monsters, from a bad place. A bad place is a place from the monsters came. Which is bad, so if if it came from a bad place, it being bad goes without saying. Because bad stuff comes from a bad place, which is bad. Very, 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 very not nice. So terribly sad. More things will fall out of there. They come. Ruin everything. Please, go quiet. Just your divine thing as you should surely stop such terrible things. Why me? No, can't make me. Why me? Please, you can't make me. No, maybe no, can't make no. Maybe can't no. Maybe no. Maybe please. No, maybe can't no. Maybe can't make no. No, maybe no. Maybe no. Maybe no. Maybe. Can go to bad place. So you decide to go. No, I don't. So you decide to go. No, I do not. So you decide to go. No, I. All your charming little creatures are gone. All your decorations, their homes, the bountiful food you gave them. There's none of it.
there's nothing. You can't keep me out forever. You can't keep us out. This is not a fairy tale. This is not a game you can win. What happens around you? No matter how much you try or pretend, tears won't change it. They're gone. They'll be gone forever. It's just life. In life, there's no saving point, no second chances. In the end, it will always be a game. Honestly, I'd love to, but if it's still, I can't shake this feeling of wrong. I'm not sure how I can describe it. It makes me feel as if I'm slowly deteriorating as human, like my life doesn't have any value because I'm not adding anything to the world. But if we do shit, it makes the feeling go away. If it's not particularly well done. Just the mere fact that I'm trying to improve makes my heart feel lighter. It's difficult to move forward. I just want to freeze up most of the time, but trying to work towards something better means a lot to me. It makes me feel happy. Even if I can only manage a little, progress, no matter how small, is still progress. I know it could all go terribly wrong, but I'll never find out what will happen if I don't try. The future is unknowable. A step forward could lead to horror or wonders. I'll never know if I don't take that step. I'm willing to move forward, even if it means risking hurting myself. The world is scary, yes, but it's also bright and beautiful. I wouldn't abandon it for anything. Suddenly, your pack, your little monster friends are surround you, celebrating. You did it! You actually did it! You're amazing! You destroyed the heart of darkness and you came out the other side. It's okay now. You're safe. Nothing can stop you or hold you back. You can be here forever. You can be whatever you want to be. A king, a queen, a god. As long as you're here, you can do anything. They take care of us. Teach us new things. Come to us when we have nightmares. Give us silly costumes to wear. As long as you're here, you're safe. The world begins to dissolve around you, like paint starting to run in the rain. You don't know if you chose the right thing, or it's had to leave Wonderland. Sometimes a fantasy can be the only thing keeping a fragile soul alive. But if you stay there forever, you can never truly live. The world melts away. I'm not sure if you're quite ready for reality. It's all good to love yourself and be content with who you are, but when you love yourself quite this much, it can become very toxic. Your own pride and passion drive many friends away, and it ends up biting you in the ass more than a few times. But your sheer conviction and determination, your demand of the universe that I will be something, manages to pay off. You become a rap artist, so you can talk about how awesome you are as much as you want without anyone blinking an eye. You're honestly quite natural talent at it. You're awarded with a Grammy, proclaiming judge your own adult and you don't need handouts, followed by an incident where you get tased by Ryan Reynolds and Elijah Wood. Thankfully you managed to get away with it, saying it was just an elaborate piece of performance art dedicated to the band Lonely Island. But it wasn't. This is not the last time you'll be tased. After a turbulent life, you sit alone in your house, staring into the middle distance. Made
many mistakes, and in hindsight, you're not exactly a perfect human being. But you tried to live your life to the fullest, and at least that's something you do not regret.